Bonjour! Bonjour!
No.
Time for bladder check. Check.
So it's a show?
It's a lifestyle.
It's a religion.
My emotions! My emotions!
I'm still French.
Ouais, c'est pas faux.
I'm a woman, Mary. I can be as contrary as I choose.
Non, moi je crois qu'il faut que vous arrêtiez d'essayer de dire des trucs.
Hello, hi, I'm Laura. I'm gonna watch Alice in Borderland Season 2, Episode 6. I just watched today the episodes 4 and 5. If you want to see my reaction videos about them, I'm gonna put the links into the eye. You know that I'm reacting to the entire Season 2, and you know also that I binge watched the entire Season 1. Again, if you want to see my reaction videos about that, I'm gonna put the links also into the eye. I think that for those of you who are really beginning to watch my reaction videos about Alice in Borderland with this video, maybe you can want to watch my other reaction videos about it just to know where I'm standing with my theories, my thoughts about what is happening into the show. I didn't read the books, you know, the manga about Alice in Borderland, so I'm really discovering the story with the show, and I didn't search for any information and I didn't watch anything else. Like, I'm not that kind of person who is trying to have spoilers about stuff. I want to discover everything during the show. You know, that's why I didn't watch the trailer also about Alice in Borderland, because I wanted to avoid these spoilers. So I think that I watched one teaser but not the trailers that they made after that. I had the impression that they made a lot of them and that they were really long. So no, I avoided that. Before beginning this episode, maybe, you know, because of my intro of the last episode, in which I told you that I was into a really bad mood, that I was mad at myself for several reasons, for several personal reasons, that I'm not so sure now that I should share with you guys. Like, I think that during the editing it's gonna be a choice for me to cut that part or not. Maybe I gave too many informations about my private life. No matter what, my mood, did it improve? Not that much. Like, I'm not as mad at myself, but what happened happened and I can't do anything about it, so you know, it's staying right there. But I don't think that, you know, that it's gonna impact my way really to watch the show. It was not the case for the episode 5, so I don't think that it's gonna be the case right there for the episode 6. Like, I'm already an emotional person usually. When I'm into that kind of mood, I can be even more emotional, I can cry more easily, I can be mad more easily and without any filter. But right there, is it gonna be the case? I think that it's gonna be the case if something is happening to that kid. And I'm really worried about it, you know, for something to happen to that kid, that king. Like, for now, the queen, she has that big team around her and it seems that she's gonna win. On the kid team, we have only Alisu and Usagi, and I don't want them to give up on the kid, and I don't think that they are that kind of person, so I don't think that I have to be worried about that. Even if it would be a good way for them to survive. But again, to survive for what? What they said, what they explained about the situation, it's okay if you're on the queen team right now, if you win with the queen, okay, you'll survive, but you're gonna be forced to stay right there, you're gonna be blocked right there into that game. You really want that, you know, for your life, to stay right there, blocked into that game? Okay, because of that, you're far away from the King of Spades, but it's not that the purpose of all of these games. You don't want to just survive again. I think that I repeated it a lot since the beginning of this season, and maybe it's the main message of this season for all of the characters. Also, I saw that question, you know, being explored by all of the characters at several occasions. The fact that there is a difference between fighting to survive and fighting to have a life. And for now, I think that during the season 1, they resolved that thing, you know, about the fact that they all want to fight to survive, they all have that strength inside of them, but a lot of them lost hope about what can they do really to escape from that world. They lost hope, so they are just there to survive and not to have a life really. I think that it's the case, for example, for Quina, it's the case for Usagi for sure, for Aguni also. But you know, for some of them there is also difference, like for Usagi, it's also the issue about the fact that she doesn't want to come back to the real world because she thinks that there is nothing for her into the real world. For Aguni, I think that it's more a question of feeling guilty about all of what he did during all of his life, and maybe he doesn't think that he deserves it. Like, really, for everyone but Alisu, they all want to survive, they're all fighters, they're gonna fight in each games for their own lives, for sure. But for what end, you know, like, to have a life, you should fight to have a life because you have hope to have a life at the end, to come back to the real world. If you think that you're out of the real world, or to do something about it, like, I think that it's really important for them to learn during this season, all of them, that surviving it's great, having a life it's even better. You know, when I'm saying that, I'm thinking a little about The Walking Dead. Like, during some seasons of The Walking Dead, they had these discussions about the difference between surviving and having a life. You're surviving for what? To have a life, to experience things, to still have hope about a better life for you, for kids, you know. And that's why I think that it's great that right now we have a kid into this show. It already impacted Usagi because she was forced to reassure that kid by telling him that he should have hope about getting out, that his parents would want him to get out, to come back home, so she can apply her own advices, you know, to herself. The fact that they have a kid right there, you want a future for that kid, you want him to have a chance to have a life, a real life. He didn't experience life yet, so yes, I think that it can be the case for all of them. We discovered new characters, like that girl who has a disability. We have old characters who came back, like Aguni. We have one character who is going, you know, on an adventure on her own at the border of this country. And clearly there is something wrong with what is happening right there, with the nature, which is taking so many places, which is changing also the places. We saw that when Alisu, he walked, you know, into the city all by himself, but also with Anne, and the fact that things are not where they're supposed to be, the fact that you have a lot of mountains around that country, like the people, the thing, I don't know how to name it, who put you right there, decided that you couldn't leave, that they would block you inside of this big arena for that big game. So I think that Anne, she just learned that you can't escape. That's not the solution to escape. And that it's not their world. If it changed so much, you know, the geography of stuff, it means that it's not your world. It's not your world, we already knew it. It's not another reality, another version of your world. That's something, you know, or it's one which was transformed. It's a virtual world. It can be also, but a lot of you died, you know, for a virtual thing. We buried Tata just 2 episodes ago. It was not so virtual. I don't have any answer, you know, about what is happening right there with that big game, with these worlds. I have some theories for sure, like, you know, these citizens, the King of Clubs, the Queen of Spades right there, I think that they are not citizens, they are players, like our guys. But are they former players? Are they players, you know, that the headmaster picked to be these generals, you know, like he gave them that responsibility, but for no particular reason, just he needed some like that, or he saw some qualities that they had? Or maybe, you know, it's something that the King of Clubs is said at some point, but I'm not sure that I interpreted that well. The fact that you can choose a game, you know, he said something about choosing to play or not. So I had the impression that maybe the ones who are citizens of this country, it's because they chose to be there. They chose to play these games, to be confronted to the players. Like, they all have something in common, these citizens. It's the fact that they're arrogant. They really think that they are the best, they are really playing stuff, like they are players for sure, but there are players who are really like, yes, arrogant, sure of themselves. So it would be the way to act of people who chose to be there. And you know, if we are going with the fact that the other players, they didn't choose to be there for sure, but also we have all of that thing about the fact that into their lives they did bad things, or they should have been punished for something, or they didn't appreciate enough their lives, you know, they didn't take really advantages of their lives and stuff like that. Like, you know, all of these things. If you are arrogant, if you want to participate to that game, you would want to, you know, to punish, to play against people that you are judging like cowards, like losers and stuff like that. Do you understand my logic right there? People who are so arrogant like they are, they can want to participate to the game, to choose to play this game because they think that they are better than that bunch of losers. See, if it's a virtual game, or at least if it's a game that you can choose to play. That's a theory that I have, but I really don't believe into it at 100%, not at all, like maybe 60%, something like that. And I have so many theories like that, like the fact that I still think that Shota is still alive. Yes, I didn't give up on that. We didn't see him fully dying. And other theories, I have so many of them, like Chishiya, I'm still suspecting him. We didn't see his background until we're gonna see it. I'm gonna continue to suspect him. And other stuff like that. A lot of other stuff. Okay, I'm gonna stop this intro right now. Let's go for this episode. Remember that if you want to have my Patreon on which you can have these episodes earlier, we have 2 episodes of advance, which means that when you're watching this episode on YouTube, they add today the episode 8. If you want to already see my reactions and my thoughts about it, it's on my Patreon. I put extended or 4 reaction parts. I'm putting 4 reaction parts for big episodes in which I can't cut and stuff like that. For now, I think that I'm only gonna put extended ones, but maybe it's gonna change for the last episodes. I would see that. But yes, episodes of advance, extended or 4 reaction parts. It's advantages like that you have on my Patreon, and my Patreon, it's the best way to support me if you want, if you can. If you appreciated, you know, my reactions to the first season, but also my binge watching of this second season, it's on my Patreon. Let's go for this episode! It's a really, really long one. This episode, I mean. I swear I understand what she says and it's right, but it's so against what I feel that I couldn't do it. To a kid. I had the impression that she talked to me. Oh great! Oh great! Oh great!
Usagi, あと5人はこっち側に入れないと。上にまだ何人かいる。行こう。待って。あなたたちは本当にクイーン側についてこのゲームに勝ちたいの？それにクイーン側についてゲームに勝てばここにずっといられる。ここにいれば他のゲームに参加する必要もないし。
That's what you want? It's not just about surviving? Yes, she already said that. I said it! I said it! But she lost hope, that she needed hope, that she needed reasons to not just survive, but have a life.
この殺しだったらあんたそんなに元の世界に戻りたいのかあそこはここの方がマシかもしれねえ
You know, for some of them it's about having another chance in life, but for some like Usagi, it's giving another chance to life. Do you understand?
私も今まではそう思ってた私は元の世界に帰りたい
For the good parts, even if they are solitaire.
それでも私を産んで育ててくれたあの世界が私は愛おしいあの世界に帰ってやり直したい
What did I say? Oh girl.
帰って家族に会いたい
やり直せるかな
Maybe.
ここに2ターンです
You just have to try. Careful, careful, careful. Jump. Good job!
最終ターンスタート
Two of you. You still need three more. Come on, 3 more. 2. It's okay. Yes! You're alive, kid. We saved you.
よかったみんなに何を吹き込んだのか知らないけどお見事でした私は大切な人たちとこの国を出て行きたい本当に
Yes.
ここの方がよっぽど自由があるもともとは俺たちと同じプレイヤーでこの国にとどまった
I think so.
そうなんだよな
There are players, former players or players who chose to be there.
それは後のお楽しみそれでは
Again, no informations.
私は最後まで自由に生きたいのさようなら
She's choosing her death. Or not.
どうしたウサギ
What? Elephants? Into a destroyed stadium?
抜け出してきたのかな
Maybe if it's not that girl, we have a big issue right there.
ごめん俺
Yeah.
いいよここにいて
It's between weird and also the symbolic is maybe a little biblical, you know, something like that. Finally! First, it's really well done. Second, really, and you're right, the nature is taking possession of all of that way too fast. Maybe because we're close to the end of the game, you know, like you know, into some games the area to play is beginning to be more little, maybe it's a little the same right there?
あんたがダイヤのキングだったんだ。元ビーチ幹部、クズリ。
難易度ダイヤのキングゲーム天秤制限時間3分の間に0から100の中から数字を1つ選んでください。自分が選んだ数字の平均値に 0.8 をかける。この値に最も近い数字を選んだ人が勝者です。その参加者はゲームオーバー。最後に生き残った1人がゲームクリアとなります。
Only one is gonna survive? It's much more, you know, a chess game than the last one, in fact.
理由さんだ。そういうことには答えるんだ。限定10ポイントに達すると天秤が傾くということか。肉体が溶け嫌な姿になるだろう。自身の命も含め全ての命の価値は平等。そう言いたいの。株は市場のみんなが投資したいと欲求する銘柄に投資するのが鉄則。
I don't think that you have to think about it that much. You need to kill his way to think. You need to do things not rationally. You know, I would choose to go wild.
周辺住民から20名の死者を出しているんです。病気の原因などいくらでもある。我が社の責任である根拠はどこにある。弱者を強者から守るために法が存在するわけではない。法の下によっては誰もが平等です。理想論だね。世界の経済をよどみなく動かす力が必要だ。君の理想論だけではこの矛盾だらけの世の中は動かない。
That's what your game is about. You're telling him to lie, to manipulate, to forget his principles.
制限時間になりました。
100？
全員の平均値は 20.2。 勝った？私勝った？
お前。
10回戦目の結果。
He doesn't want to win, Chishiya. He wants to screw him.
クズリウサが減点が10に達した参加者がおられます。
It's awful, it's slow, and it's torture, you know, like. Oh, you can see it. Like, you know that it's what is gonna happen to you. Aha. Aha. Oh no 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 no. Chishiya?